Oh, what is going on, everybody?
No! No!
It is the Pixel Partners here, and welcome back,
Oh.
to Ace Attorney Investigations when we left off.
Oh, stop, please.
I couldn't help but I had to. Hey, everybody. Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations when we left off.
He did not run that by me first, if you didn't
It would
notice.
have ruined the bit if I ran that by you first.
Oh my god.
So-
Why?
Because I had to.
No, you did not.
I mentally had to. There was part of me that said I had to, and I listened to that part of me. Okay, so when we left off, we were looking around and getting the we were touching the dead bodies and seeing where the discrepancies are. And we believe that there
Out
was.
of context, that sounds bad.
You are entirely correct. But we do believe that there was a third person here that was touching the dead bodies.
Oh my god, stop. She's like, no, I want a picture.
It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
I don't
Set
get how
their
someone
bodies
can
up
move
to make it
around
look
dead
like a
bodies.
double
Like, it's
murder.
just, ugh.
I mean, at that point, if you've killed someone and have to cover it up, then you're probably willing to do anything to stop it.
True,
So.
but still just like, ugh. Okay.
That third person is the real culprit.
Miles heads first. So there's just one thing you're missing.
Evidence, correct?
Exactly. Everything you've said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime?
Of course. If a third person was truly here, the fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof of this has all been set up, made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. What is piece of evidence that proves there's a third person involved? The only two things I can think of would be maybe the plastic bag, but there's also the knife. Those are the two things that stand. I don't think it would be his fountain pen. I don't think it would be the handgun. Maybe, I mean, well, because we've kind of gone over the fact that the gun was in his right hand, even though he's left-handed. But that would that prove? Because that would show that someone moved the gun into the hand.
I think so. And it was fired from a few yards away.
Okay, yeah.
Aha!
The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand
And the
a plastic
plastic
bag with his blood on it.
So I wonder if we would have picked either one of them if it would have
Maybe,
worked.
because I've noticed this popped up before where like it'll show two things, and sometimes when you don't even pick the first one, I'll be like, oh, what?
Because both of them, I would think, work.
Yeah, because you don't really have a reason behind that bag. So
No.
these two items point to the presence of a third person.
How so?
Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person.
Yeah.
The culprit held a knife with a plastic bag around it.
Oh.
They could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence.
I don't know why she looks so distraught. What the? Oh, he's
jotting
writing
down notes.
I thought he was twiddling his thumbs. I'm like, what's going on? Because I'm blind.
Looks like we still got a long way to go in this investigation. Oh, yeah.
He's just like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
just, yes. Who was that?
I was about to say, who was that? Was that the judge?
Was that the judge?
I refuse.
Wait.
But what the heck is up with you, pal? Or was it Miss Yu?
It sounded like a man's voice, though.
I was confused by that.
I don't know.
but-
I didn't really hear it very well because the TV is very quiet because it has to be.
Yeah, I can try. I can
it's
turn up one notch. That's
It's
all
too
I can
late
do.
now. It's already in the past.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll do it again at some point, but...
Mr. Ben, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest.
What? What? What's the meaning of this?
Ha! Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates.
Oh, don't you dare!
That detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time, but I have it on good authority that it was all a giant lie.
Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement.
I'll let His Honor explain it himself.
I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway.
What?
See, Mr. Bad? So I ask you, why would a detective who is supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie?
Oh, Gumshoe, did you kill Mr. Faraday? No, of course not, sir.
It would appear that the one who sets his whole crime scene up is that detective, which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. Looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles.
I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle.
Oh boy.
Is that statement really a lie?
It's your favorite song, the beatboxing.
Yes.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, oh, now you're suspecting the murder of two men? Oh, now spit at the truth, or so help me. Oh, yeah. I haven't lied to anyone, so honest. I really was here, that was really there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that's heading up this investigation, am I not?
Oh, don't talk like you know what's going on, boy.
He waggled his finger at the giant man.
All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly.
Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all.
Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into testimony, I'd like to set the record straight on something.
Oh, and what's that?
What should I ask about Detective Gumshoe? What should I ask him about? I would say why he was in the hallway, apparently, so...
Well, I mean, he doesn't have any
also,
motive
I was about to say,
either.
what would be the motive as well? I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime.
Motive, huh? Oh, Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything? Then no, sir. Not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Oh, is that a fact? Oh, yeah.
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I am not lying.
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here.
Could you please share it with us? However, before warning that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation.
You're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. She's got freckles!
She does.
It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit."
Ah, damn it.
A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I can never hold a grudge. I can even hold a gun.
Yeah.
Oh, quiet. We can't trust anything you say. Sir.
There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Miss Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect at all.
Woo.
Time to rebut! Oh. Alright, about a week ago.
Just touching up her lip gloss.
Some get chewed out. But what for? Do you know what for? Tell me what for. Mr. Faraday was upset.
Yeah. You know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally beat red in the face. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just as the face he's making now, right?
Nah, I'm completely innocent, I tell you.
Poor man. Oh, that's so anime.
It was quite the scene with the detective.
Alright, he stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you." Poor guy. You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you.
Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him.
No way. I thought it was because I had something stuck in my face.
What'd you do?
Huh? What have I got stuck on my face?
Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth. Oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows.
Huh?
Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun.
Miss you, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now.
Sure, why not? I love her.
My
so
goodness.
much. She's like me when I have the giggles.
For real.
Am I wrong?
No? Cut a new detective salary right off the bat like that.
I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice?
Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do the same to me earlier too?
I suppose I did.
It's only natural to cut the worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people?
Oh, well, I guess they really shouldn't cut people's pay.
Detective Bad. Don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier. I don't know about a perfect explanation, but I'll press you to see what else you got. You call your explanation perfect?
Is it not to your liking?
Unfortunately for you, it's not up to my standards.
Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I have no other idea, so yes. Right, if you could clear this one thing up for me. Well, also, Mr. Rell. Yeah, why would he kill Mr. Rell? Because, I mean, we know Faraday and Gumshoe's relation. He was a detective.
Yeah.
And
motive for killing Mr. Rell.
Yeah. He was an innocent man. Well, he wasn't innocent, but in this circumstance,
Yeah.
maybe. I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday.
Hey, I didn't kill anyone.
Shut up. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell?
His motive for killing Rell? Like I would know.
If there's no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves?
Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea.
What? That's impossible. She must know something.
Wait. Can you please not glare at me like that? It only makes me laugh.
I didn't even do anything and you're already laughing away.
Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway.
Oh. Would you care to explain your logic? Would you amend your statement? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation.
Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is that a requisite trait for being a Von Karma?
It's no joke. Yes, it is.
Manos is first, and demands to shut this rude woman up.
I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second.
Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids.
Another one! Another one. Motive to kill the man.
Another one.
Oh, God.
There's no one out there with the motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other.
Wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG-8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member. And the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who's somehow related to them? Literally just gave us the answer to the whole rebuttal there. That, I mean, I already had a feeling. Just, there was no one out there with the motive to kill both men. Really, we can look at the KG-8 incident and then we learn that
maybe we have
Manny
to.
Coachman.
Do we need to press it first?
I'm just gonna.
Okay, yeah.
First thing, easy peasy. Miss you, and I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement, or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up?
What do you mean?
We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was a suspect in the original KG-8 incident, and a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Coachman. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Rell, and the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Coachman has no reason at all to kill both of these men?
Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
You covered for me, pal. Maybe I'm not such a bad guy after all.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, is the only things I wish to hold.
But I did do it!
You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Coachman for me. Coachin'. Remember,
Manny Coachman.
I will not be up.
Oh, you want to investigate coaching? Oh, you'd just be wasting your time. Oh, yeah.
Do you have to say, oh yeah, after everything?
Have you listened to Macho Man Randy Savage? Yes, you have to. Listen,
I've heard one clip.
Oh yeah is to Macho Man as pal is the Gumshoe.
Well, okay.
And why is that?
Oh, Coachman was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial, so I was told. Oh, yeah. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe.
I suppose so.
No way. Come on, Detective Badge. You gotta believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then are you saying it was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there was no one else, sir. Oh, then why should I believe you didn't do it? No.
That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of the crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
After 2 minutes, a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. If the detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least, offer up I spaced out while on duty or the like.
Oh, come on,
The
Gumshoe.
judge is still heavy breathing over there.
Time for your interrogation. Ah, shit. Detective Bad. Nah.
Poor buddy.
I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Miles has verse. I will go on ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone?
Not used to watching you walk.
I know, right? Santa? Well, I suppose we should be both getting back to our real jobs now, huh?
Yeah, I suppose.
Will you stop doing that?
Before we do miss you, there's something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
Don't laugh over there. Don't you fucking laugh while I saunter over there.
That's the perfect
Why
thing
you laughing?
for her to be laughing.
Why you laughing? Why?
Edgeworth?
Hang on. I didn't even talk to her. Wait, what just...
Where are you off to? Aren't you the one who wanted to talk?
Oh, I guess I just... well, yes, sorry about that.
Oh.
I guess I just walked too close to the bottom. Dang, I was hoping I unleashed some sort of Easter egg.
Yeah,
That'd
by...
have been amazing. So why are you running around? No, I'm tempted. Oh, okay, now we're good. All right.
So, what did you want to ask me about?
The KG-8 incident. I need some deets. Give me the lowdown. Give me the low 5 beats. The current case of the murdered Cadopian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG-8 incident.
Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it?
I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what is reported in the papers.
No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know?
Is she the... Well... Oh, that's probably like her sister or something.
Because they do look similar.
Yeah, the CC or Cease, we don't know yet.
It's CC.
Yeah, probably.
Cease makes absolute no sense.
I like to make no sense.
CC's Pizza, there you go.
I love CC's, man. I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
Think you can stop making that ultra serious face in front of me?
If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. Just gonna have to show her exactly how related to the KG incident she is.
Serious? You look right now.
You better look at this.
Miss you doing it again?
I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident.
That file is your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident?
Through the victim? Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU.
Oh.
What?
No, I just want to see. Never mind.
Okay. You will know that she has the same last name as you.
You will note.
Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case? You're laughing at the death of a family member. Good for you.
Sorry, but we're not related.
What the...
Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face. And I couldn't help but...
This is a serious situation. Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth.
Alright, I'll tell you everything I know.
Yeah, I trust that.
As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister, CCU.
As I thought.
And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried, and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree.
All because of a lack of evidence?
No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist.
What?
I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence.
A man in black? Oh, what are you up to, Tyrell? Okay, anyways. Alright. Then the evidence have been tampered with?
Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along.
How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation?
I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense on this case that people are calling the second KG-8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know.
You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring?
I don't know what to think.
Tell me about Manny Cochin. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier?
Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad.
Jesus. What's that supposed to mean?
Oh boy, stop it with a scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face.
The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy.
But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh?
That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life.
Edward, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we?
Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I'll work on my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see.
Look at you with your game face on, ready to go.
I'm making no such face.
Did you know? Laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time?
I'm charged with making sure that the criminals of this world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter.
There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. Smile more.
It's not gonna happen. I've forgotten how to smile.
Oh god.
The KG-8 incident.
He's like, I can only smirk.
And this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus a detective, Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over. But whether or not the detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth.
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 You were doing so good there.
Oh man, it's just like me to
Look, it's
flub
not
it
at the
last
beginning
second.
of the next episode for once.
Yay. Save it. And we let the game load, and then we proceed into the next portion of the case.
I mean, I was doing the Nickelodeon jingle, but okay.
Do you have it? Guts.
That just showed your age.
Yes, it did. Oh, uh-oh.
What? Oh,
Mr.
no!
Waterman.
Oh no!
He drank too much water and he's pissed off the machine. Oh my god. I need to go talk to him soon. Sir, what is to become of the trial into the Cadopian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead, the case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely.
Ha! Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut.
I suppose it can't be helped. The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. Sir, what do you think about the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member?
Never thought I'd hear him say a little while. You'd think it'd be like, momentarily.
Yeah. And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
Threw me off.
What an outrageous circus it has all become! That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivety. An outrageous circus. Right, sir. I grow wary of this topic, Edgeworth. I will have you assigned to a different case.
Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you?
I'll consider it.
What?
Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know there's already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. However, there's not enough evidence to prove that it is he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh! A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection.
Jesus. Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I were competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate the real crime scene is a rare opportunity, sorry. Why'd you skip it?
Sorry.
I'll whip you.
No.
Would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree?
If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish.
Then you're allowing us to continue?
In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise.
Jesus.
Returning home now. Edgeworth, Francesca, see to it I'm not disturbed save for the results of your competition.
Yes, sir.
Of course, Papa.
Francesca, thank you.
What are you thanking me for? Your logic earlier was built on such a gruffy detective lie. That means that the competition is still on.
Yes, just as you wished.
I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth.
I know I don't have enough information yet, so my first order of business will be to question anyone involved with this case. And obviously it's this man. Hello.
I can't stop the water, sir.
It seems that the man who was here earlier broke it by drinking from it too much.
Bunch of fools who pretended to not see the foolishly foolish actions of a foolish fool.
Well, then why don't you lend the officer a hand?
As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fountain's mouth is... Water-drinking fool's mouth is the thing that officers should be covering. This gives an officer a description of the water guzzler later.
She seems to have quite the grudge. It sounds to me like someone wanted to drink.
Ah.
You poor thing. All right, well, you know, we're going to keep looking. Oh, well, he's angry.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to talk to him.
You can see his chest heaving.
I'm telling you, next time we're gonna prove that it wasn't me, pal.
I hope so.
See that man back there taking a nap? I bet it was him.
Francesca,
See how
it
lazy
looks
he
like
is?
she's looking at him like, this bitch.
It's just
Do
like,
you see her?
yeah. Like, this motherfucker laying on the couch. Oh, my God.